Three early childhood institutions, three different realities, but they all have one thing in common. They're all expected to give these young minds the right start. However, with infrastructural problems, lack of resources, and undertrained teachers plaguing Jamaica's early childhood system, the future for thousands of children isn't looking so bright. A journey deep into rural Clarendon to a community called Redlands brings us to a small basic school housed in a church. The school has been serving the community for over 3 decades. Half of that time spent in this dilapidated structure. However, they were forced to move when the building was deemed unfit. They sought refuge in a church, but sharing a building with worshippers isn't always convenient.
I think we need a basic school of our own for the community because when like consecration and like funerals and week of campaign, then when consecration, no school. Because as you see, the school had been kept inside of the church. So when we are having those things, then we cannot have any school.
There are only 10 students here with one full-time teacher. The school's principal says despite the many problems, members of the community are adamant that shutting down the institution is not an option. She adds that the school has been inspected by the Early Childhood Commission on several occasions, but not much help has come from the Education Ministry.
I don't get anything from the government except for when food stuff. Like rice, a little rice, flour, cornmeal, tin mackerel, corned beef, oil.
She says a specific amount is delivered every term.
This term I got six corned beef, 6 tin mackerel, half bag of flour, half bag of rice.
However, last term the ration was less than expected.
The term from September to December, 3 corned beef, 3 tin mackerel, half bag of flour, half bag of rice.
It costs just $50 a day to send students to Redlands Basic School, but not everyone pays.
Sometimes I have to say voluntary work. That's it. Just as that.
In the neighboring parish of St. Catherine, there's this property. At first glance, it could pass for any one of Spanish Town's many abandoned buildings. Well, it is. An abandoned factory turned into an early childhood institution. Established some 11 years ago to provide the right start for many children from some of Spanish Town's most troubled communities, the facility is no longer conducive to nurturing young minds.
Some of the major challenges, one is financial. That's been one of the main ones. We also need a building for the school and also a property of our own.
This institution has also been inspected several times by the Early Childhood Commission, which has encouraged the principal to relocate. But she says that won't happen anytime soon, as the meager resources are already stretched too thin. Meanwhile, at the other end of the spectrum is one of the most sought-after institutions in Kingston and St. Andrew.
With us, as our motto is nurturing tomorrow's leaders, and so we are very passionate about early childhood education, and we believe that if children are to be successful, they must have a solid and a firm foundation, and we try our best to offer it here.
With over 200 students, the Jamaica House Basic School is very different from Redlands Basic and Smith's Early Childhood Institution. Unlike the $3,000 per term parents in Clarendon and St. Catherine pay, it can cost up to $19,000 per term to attend the Jamaica House Basic School. The Jamaica House Basic School exposes the children to a well-rounded curriculum that includes the various arts and a second language from as early as 3 years old.
It takes cash to care. So if we really don't have money, then we won't be able to offer the services.
The school has been inspected by the Early Childhood Commission, and the principal points out that the school more than meets the critical requirement of at least one trained teacher in every early childhood institution.
All our teachers have at least the NCT vet level 1 and level 2. We have teachers here with the bachelor, diploma, and we have 3 now, 3 just finished their diploma and 3 are pending. And the other 4, they have at least their NCTVET level 1 and 2 in early childhood, plus they have other CXC subjects. They now are preparing to enter college.
The great disparities between these 3 schools is proof that although there is equal access to early childhood education across the country, the quality of education varies significantly. However, the Early Childhood Commission, which is mandated with improving the learning experience of the country's youngest, says it ensures there's equity in the support offered.
We offer a standardized program to all practitioners right across the island on a monthly basis. So if we're doing a literacy program, everybody accesses the same information and training each time that we offer our program. So it is not that we offer to one set of persons. So for all the 50 development officers that do the program each month, it's a similar program that all the practitioners are exposed to.
Mr. Williams says the training sessions held monthly are supposed to improve the teacher's ability to deliver lessons, but he points out that the sessions aren't mandatory.
We can make better teachers, but what we can do, we can enable them to use strategies that will help to improve the delivery of their interactions with the children with whom they work.
He adds that the reality is that the early childhood system isn't where the Education Ministry hoped it would be, in the case of having at least one trained teacher in every early childhood institution.
The policy speaks to one trained teacher in every early childhood institution, right? Ideally, we would want to have one trained teacher in every early childhood classroom, but we are not there yet, and we are working towards. I think we have 29%, a little above 25, 30 to less than 30% of our teachers trained in the early childhood degree or diploma level.
The reality is that more trained teachers are found in urban early childhood institutions than in rural schools. One theory put forward for this is that several rural teachers, after being trained, opt for better paying jobs in urban communities. So with the early childhood system getting less than 5% of the annual education budget, successive governments have been accused of not taking early childhood seriously enough.